What's happening, guys? A little disclaimer before I get my review started because it's this movie. I supported this movie 100% when it was announced, even when first photos came out, everything. 100%. You can actually look at those videos and be like, you can hear my voice. I was supportive. I've also been a huge Ghostbusters fan as far back as I can remember. I mean, many Halloween costumes have been Ghostbusters. I have 2 crates of toys, Ghostbusters, a box full of comic books. I had it all. So I wanted more Ghostbusters, and I didn't care how I was going to get it. I was like, let's do it, but sadly, as soon as that trailer came out, that's when things started to dwindle. Then more things came out. I made some videos just to fire back at all the being called misogynistic and shit like that. So a lot of people might think I might just shit all over this movie, and I went into this movie just like, oh, I'm gonna hate this movie. That's not what I do. I love movies. I want more movies. I love blockbuster movies. So I went in with an open mind and I was just hoping to have a good time. So without further ado, let's get started. Certified fresh, huh? What's happening, my film nerds? Dave with the Film Junkie here, bringing you a film review of Ghostbusters 2016. And of course, Ghostbusters 2016 stars Kristen Wiig, Melissa McCarthy, Kate McKinnon, Leslie Jones, Chris Hemsworth, and it's written or co-written and directed by Paul Feig. And it's a retelling of the Ghostbusters, how they came to be, but of course we have new Ghostbusters. We don't have the old Ghostbusters. Completely new movie. There is somebody that is unleashing the ghosts, tapping into the other world and bringing the ghosts to this side, I guess you could say. And New York City is in peril because something major is coming and there's some big shit coming and the Ghostbusters must stop it. So what did I think of Ghostbusters 2016? This movie's not good. No, this movie's just not good. Just not good. And why is it not good? Because of the cast of women, of course. No, that is not the reason. The reason is Paul Feig. And we'll add Sony onto that too if you want to see some of the behind the scenes about the shenanigans that happen to make this movie exist. Be my guest, it's on the channel. I just uploaded it a few days ago. The script is what's wrong with this movie and where Paul Feig takes the movie and how he tries to wink at everybody and be like, hey, remember, this is a Ghostbusters movie because we put a line right here, we put a little Easter egg right there. As if he's sarcastically winking to those Ghostbusters fans like, hey, don't worry, I still got you covered. Asshole. But let's go to the good about this movie, and I will say the first half hour or so of this movie, I was enjoying. The jokes were hitting, the chemistry was there. I love these actors. They all were working well together, and I was actually surprised. I was like, okay, I am enjoying this movie because I was hearing a bunch of reviews that said like, oh, you'll probably laugh throughout, and I was laughing throughout that first half hour, and then it just kind of took an exit I didn't want it to take. When it really started diving into the Ghostbusters part, some of that was cool, a very small portion of it, but a lot of it was over the top and ridiculous. Like, let me put it this way, okay? Me and my buddy, we were laughing for the first half hour. We were chuckling. Not belly laughs, but we were chuckling. There was a guy next to us who was one of those that just overly laughs out loud on the littlest mundane things. Like you're going, oh God, he's going to be one of those guys that just laughs at everything throughout this movie. This is going to be terrible. But after about 45 minutes or so, didn't really hear much from him. As well as the rest of the movie theater. You know, laughs every here now and then, but that first half hour, it was like every few seconds it seemed like people were chuckling because that first half hour was written pretty well when it came to the dialogue and the jokes. Let's talk about the characters. Kristen Wiig, Melissa McCarthy, they play pretty similar characters, which we get a sense of. That's just the way they are. They are funny ladies. Melissa McCarthy, kind of getting tired of her, but still, I liked her like in Spy and Heat, and of course Bridesmaids. And then Kristen Wiig, I've always had a crush on her. I like her delivery of lines, and it works in that first half hour. After a while, their characters start kind of unraveling. Melissa McCarthy started getting on my nerves because she was just trying to just be like this, I don't know, just spit out some of these lines that were just way over the top, and it was like, why are you screaming that? You could tell like Paul Feig just let these ladies go sometimes, and maybe that was partly the problem because maybe they were following the script for a bit, or maybe a lot of that was improvisation too. I don't know, but it's just sometimes the jokes back and forth just didn't work for, I don't know, probably like into the second act of the movie and then on. Leslie Jones, I thought she was gonna annoy the piss out of me because she was just playing that token sassy black woman, y'all! But sadly, she was the most authentic. That's racist. No, she was like the most authentic because sometimes she would bring that sassiness to whatever situation is happening because she was out of her league, and that's what made the original Ghostbusters special. Yes, we have to compare it to the original because this is a remake. The original Ghostbusters, those guys were so out of their element, and you felt that. You felt like you were going on this journey with them, and even though it was like ridiculous comedy and 80s fun, they were out of their element. You loved those guys, and you just were on this journey with them. They do not take this seriously at all. You don't feel like they're out of their element. You feel like they're superhuman at times, and they're just ridiculously over the top. They're trying to shoehorn too many jokes in, especially towards that climactic ending. Holy shit. Back to the characters. Kate McKinnon. It seems like there's a coin flip. Either you loved her or you found her so fucking annoying. So where am I? Oh, I'm right here, man. I was looking forward to her character too because you didn't see much in the trailer. In some parts you did. I was like, okay, she's going to be the funny one. She's going to be the real comic relief. And I love her on Saturday Night Live. Sketches that she's in. She does great impressions, and she's just a funny woman. Way too over the top in this movie. Just got to the point where I just was like, what? Did they just stick the camera on her and she's just going to do every SNL character that she's ever conjured up? She does not have like a serious moment. She's just a walking cartoon. She can't even sit still, or she's making a face, doing a different kind of voice, doing some kind of animated thing. She just can't be serious. Even when they try to do serious moments in the movie, she cannot. I don't know if she felt awkward or Paul Feig really wanted her to be like this, because it just felt like she just couldn't play it straight. Like she had to be all goofy. Like me, I can't take a straight picture. I have to make a goofy face. That's what I felt like her character was. Always having to be goofy and just way over the top. Chris Hemsworth! Same thing! Way over the top, way stupid, and that's just what Paul Feig does with all those male characters, because he doesn't think men are funny, apparently. Yeah, he wrote a little article for Hollywood Reporter about that. It kind of made me a little salty, but yeah, he makes his characters dumb and stupid, and a lot of people said Chris Hemsworth steals the scene, which he does at times, and he got chuckles out of me, but after a while, it got annoying too. Another thing Paul Feig really wanted to touch bases on was the technology of the Ghostbusters, and he wanted to see that technology being developed, because he really didn't see that in the original, so he wanted to tap into that. So why didn't he tap into that? Kate McKinnon just creates all these weapons, all this stuff to fight ghosts, but you don't see her actually doing it. They're just there on a table, and then she explains what she did with like these big words, and power to her for remembering all that shit, because you just kind of go, all right. The cameo from the original cast. Those poor souls. The cameos did not do anything for me, and again, it's just Paul Feig going like, hey, wink wink, remember these guys? They're in the first one. Fuck. One cameo, though, kind of went, oh, that was cool. I won't say what it is, but yes, the cameos just didn't work. I mean, one in particular felt like he was just forced to be there, which he probably was. Visual effects, way too much. There was one ghost, like in the subway, that looked really cool. I'll give it that. And maybe a couple other ones look kind of cool too, but mainly it just was Scooby-Doo, just like it looks like in the trailer, when the whole battle at the end, which pretty much in the trailer, you see the whole fucking movie. Like, again, Sony loves to do this, but then again, a lot of the companies love to do this. We pretty much were showing the whole trailer. I mean, even when I made a jab about seeing Stay Puft Marshmallow Man in that TV spot, and I said, he looks like that. He pretty much was that. Super disappointing that I do not like this movie whatsoever, because, like I said, huge Ghostbusters fan, and also a fan of these actors, and even of Paul Feig, even though I've lost respect for him just because of what's happened with this movie. These actors are so talented, and they just were given shit. I mean, like I said, the first half hour, they were given some good dialogue and some witty dialogue, and it was working, and then it just totally went to shit, and if stuff I heard that was happening behind the scenes is true, I could see why. And yes, there's a post-credit scene, so if you want to stay for that, but the post-credit scene kind of made me more upset. I literally got out of my chair and said, no. I almost said, fuck you. Almost did. And what's funny is, you see a portion of that in the trailer! Do I recommend seeing this movie? Of course I don't. If you're a die-hard Ghostbusters fan, I don't think you should see this movie. It would probably make you upset. If you're a mediocre Ghostbusters fan, you might be annoyed by it. You'll like some of it, but you might be a little annoyed by it. If you're not a Ghostbusters fan at all, maybe you will enjoy it, because, you know, for the most part, if I was going in with fresh eyes, not a Ghostbusters fan, I would probably have liked it a lot more and thought it was a lot more fun. I mean, there was moments where I was like, oh, that's cool, but you're kind of contradicting stuff that you mentioned before, especially with the weaponry. Oh, not to mention the villain is super weak and annoying and over the top and whatever, and, God. Just bad. You know that there was supposed to be a dance number in it, but they cut it out? Yeah. That's right. So yeah, did not like Ghostbusters 2016. The problem was the script. The problem was Paul Feig. If this movie was a movie about paranormal experts, like investigating ghosts, not so over the top, and a different movie, didn't have the Ghostbusters brand, it probably would have worked a lot better. Because like I said, that first half hour, if that movie stayed like that without all the crazy special effects and the Ghostbusters trademark, it probably would have worked, and I probably would have really liked this movie. So there is my film review of Ghostbusters 2016. Let me know if you saw it down below in the balls area. Let me know what you thought about it. Call me sexist, call me a misogynist, whatever you want to do. I don't care. I did not like this movie. I wanted to. Sadly, I didn't. All right, guys, answer the call. That tagline makes no fucking sense whatsoever. I'm sorry. It doesn't. The original tagline is, who are you going to call? Ghostbusters. Was this Ghostbusters Answer the Call? Again, the marketing for this movie was atrocious. And whoever was in charge of that should be fucking fired. Alright, bye! And thank you for watching, you beautiful people. You go ahead and hit that like, thumbs up button if you'd be so kind. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Subscribe to my other channel too. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and visit filmjunkie.com for all my videos.